Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to our new very best Shabbat dinner tradition here at Valley Beth Shalom. I hope that these videos prove helpful and meaningful to you as we walk you through the different rituals on Friday night. And we're going to begin with the very first ritual, lighting of the candles, Lahadlik Ner Shel Shabbat.
Our tradition is to light at least 2 Shabbat candles, and some families add an additional candle as their families grow. Why 2? The 10 Commandments instruct us that we must keep and remember Shabbat. Shamor v'zachor. You also hear that repeated in Lachadodi, our beautiful Kabbalistic prayer, said on Kabbalat Shabbat. So the light of the candles is brought into our hearts with the 3 circles that we make after we light the candles and before we close our eyes. And some say that this is to usher in the Shabbat light into our hearts, to welcome the Shabbat bride into our lives, and also to surround ourselves with the light and warmth of God and Shabbat.
There are many different rabbinic explanations for why we light Shabbat candles on Friday nights. But one of the midrashic stories that I find to be meaningful is that Adam and Eve were created, the first human beings, on the 6th day, on Friday. And then suddenly the world became dark at the beginning of the 7th day, and they were fearful. And so God taught them a new tradition. They lit fire for the first time, and they held each other tight. And since that first time, we do the same. No matter what has ensued during the week, we light these candles and come together and hold each other close. And the fear is gone, and our loving warmth of Shabbat fills our homes. And so now, please rise as we light Shabbat candles together.
We light the candles and cover our eyes as we recite the blessing.
Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Yai lai 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 lai, ya lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai, ya la lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
Who are we? Is one of the questions that the rabbis come to answer for us. And they answer it right here during Kiddush on Friday nights. We raise a delicious cup of grape juice or wine, and we marry 2 different ideas together. Are we reciting Kiddush, and are we celebrating Shabbat because God created the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th and called it Shabbat? Or are we commemorating Shabbat because we were slaves in Egypt and we were freed and now we are in control of the usage of our own time? The answer, according to Kiddush, is both. And so the first paragraph addresses the creation narrative. The second paragraph addresses our narrative about who we are as a people. Every time we sit down to the Shabbat table is an opportunity for families and friends to define who we are, not only as Jews, but as a community living in this moment in our lives. Please take your glass of grape juice or wine and please raise it for Kiddush. Vayehi erev vayevoker yom hashishi vayechul hashamayim va'aretz v'chol tzva'am vayechal Elohim bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa vayishpot bayom hashvi'i melachto asher asa Vayivarech Elohim et Yom HaShivi Kadeshoto, Ki Yivo Shavat Mikol Malachto, Asher Bar Elim Lasot, Savar Maranan,
L'chaim.
Baruch Atah Adonai Mecholam, Bore Pri HaGafen,
Amen.
Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Kiddushanu Mitzvav Tzavanu, Beshabbat Kodsho, Be'ava Ratzon Hinchilanu, Zikaron L'Maasev Reishit, Ki Hu Yom Techila L'Mikra Kodesh, Zecher L'Tziat Mitzrayim, Ki Vanu Vacharta, Ve'otanu Kidashta, Mikol Ha'amim, Ve'Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ahava Uvratzon, Hinchaltanu. Baruch Atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
In my family, that's how we finish Kiddush. Hamotzi is a lesson, a teaching, in addition to being a delicious, delicious ritual that we enact on Friday nights. The prayer, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, blessed are you, Lord our God, ruler of the universe, who draws bread from the earth, cannot make sense to those of us who understand how bread is made. And so it's a lesson, it's a teaching for us each and every time we recite it. Because it means that the wheat that grows, and the farmer that cuts the wheat, and the people who deliver that wheat to bakeries, and the hands that turn that wheat into dough, and then braid that dough into challah, all of those processes are imbued with godliness. And God runs through everything that we do. And so as we recite Hamotzi, we teach one another about God's role in our life and God's presence in every aspect of the world. And so I wash my hands in preparation for Hamotzi. Traditionally, I pour 3 times over each hand, and then I recite the blessing, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher Kiddushanu b'mitzvah tzivanu, al netilat yadayim.
Amen.
And then the most difficult challenge for my entire family is we try not to talk between washing our hands and Hamotzi. And so far, in all of the Shabbatot we've had as a family, we've never been able to accomplish it. But I wish you the best of luck in trying. We don't speak. As you can see, it's difficult for me to even not speak right now in between these two. But we raise the challah up, and we are blessed with Cantor Rafi's voice as she leads us in a pre-Hamotzi song that we teach to your children at the ECC.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
We give thanks to God for bread.
Our voices join in happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Te'avon.
We shake salt onto the challah, and then we rip it apart and eat it. B'te'avon, enjoy. And now I would gather my children, and I encourage you to gather your children, whether they be physically present with you in your home or whether they be someplace else. As Avraham blessed Yitzchak and Yitzchak blessed Yaakov and Yaakov blessed the 12 tribes of Israel, so do we now bless our beloved children. Dear all of our children, Chazak v'amatz, be strong for the truth, charitable in your words, just and loving in all your deeds. To my daughters, Yismach Elohim kesarf karachav Leah, may God make you as Sarah Becca Rachel Leah. To my sons, Yismach Elohim ke'Ephraim Menashe, may God make you as Ephraim Menashe. And to all of you, Yisad Adonai panav alechem ve'asem lecha shalom, may God bestow his favor upon you and always, always, always grant you peace.
Amen. And how I bless my daughter, may all of our children be blessed. Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka, Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lach shalom. Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.